So again, I would like to welcome the RFP team. I would like to welcome our respected Honorable District Governor V.P. Kalta sir for being with us. And although he's very busy, I know, but then he could find time and be with us for this special program, which is very close to our heart. A special thanks to you, sir. Thanks so much. So now I would uh, request if DRFC past District Governor Manmohan Singh as he joined, so I would request him for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Kalra, the President Rotary Midtown. Just for knowledge sake, whether Bharat Pandya has joined or not. Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
And Dr. Pandya has joined or not yet? Hello.
I think not at present, sir. We
Okay.
can't see him on the screen. Yeah.
Anyway,
we're just giving him a call.
Okay.
Yes, 7 participants as an.
I see. Anyway, very good evening to all of you. Respected District Governor VP Kalta, President Dr. Kalra, and all the members of Rotary Club of Chandigarh Midtown. Firstly, my compliments to all of you for this special meeting wherein Vice Chairman Trustee is speaking as keynote speaker. As DRFC, we are following the guidelines and directions of our District Governor VP Kalra, who has promised to contribute 5.5 lakhs of US dollars this year as TRF contribution. I understand Rotary Chandigarh is the front runner in contribution as well as availing funds from the foundation. I wish you all the best for the remaining part of the meeting. And I hope I will say just 1 or 2 lines as and when our trustee vice chair trustee joins. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Manmohan sir.
Yes.
Bharat sir has joined.
Oh.
Yes,
hello. I being DRFC, of course, our district governor is present over here. I heartily welcome a keynote speaker for this evening, Dr. Bharat Pandya, Vice Chair Trustee. And in the presence of Bharat Pandya, if you say something about Rotary Foundation, it will not be fair. Since he is the most sought after speaker, not only in India, but nowadays abroad also. Not only in foundation, but in all spheres of Rotary, he is the most wanted speaker as far as India is concerned. I welcome you, sir. And of course, we are meeting in Visakhapatnam also. But for Rotary District 3080, I heartily welcome you over here. And let me tell you, this Rotary Chandigarh Midtown had this privilege to listen to you in their meeting. Rotary Chandigarh Midtown is a front runner in Rotary this foundation contribution as well as availing funds through the grants. I welcome you once again. Thank you very much you being with us. Once again, over to President Dr. Kalra.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request past President Dr. Rita Kalra to
District Governor Rotarian VP Kalta, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, with all protocols observed, let me extend a warm and friendly welcome to all present online and offline. We all are here for a reason. November is designated as the Rotary Foundation month. The Rotary Foundation gives us an opportunity to grow with gratitude. Imagine you can protect a child from polio, help a blind see, a limp walk, feed the hungry, shelter the homeless with your contribution to the foundation. Imagine the peace and harmony in the world with your small act of kindness. The Rotary Foundation is our hope, our faith, and our dream. Talking of dreams, I cannot resist quoting late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. We must think and act like a nation of billion people and not like that of million people. Dream, dream, and dream. And who else to talk about the great Rotary dream, our dream keynote speaker, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome him who has joined us today from Mumbai. A man on a mission who dared to dream a dream to change lives while serving humanity. He is not just a social movement, but crusader, pioneer, and reflector of change. Change called Rotary Positive Preventive Health. He has given us a life-saving slogan, Ek chammach kam aur char kadam aage, to stop non-communicable diseases. Proud alumnus of SGS Medical College, Mumbai, he is practicing general and laparoscopic surgeon since last 32 years. Fellow of Association Surgeons of India, he has served on board of Jan Shiksha Sansthan for 6 years. He served as District Governor, District 3140 in 2006-07 and RI Director 2019 to 2021 and RI Treasurer 2020 to 2021. Currently serving as Vice Chairman, Trustees of the Rotary Foundation, he has held many prestigious positions as Regional Membership Coordinator, RI Training Leader, GETS Chair, GETS Trainer, COL Representative, RI President's Representative in District Conferences to India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Philippines. Doctors Bharat and Madhavi are level 3 major donors and have been conferred citation of meritorious service and distinguished service award by the Rotary Foundation. District 3140 in his leadership contributed $2 million, highest ever contribution from India in 2006-07. He is recipient of Rotary's highest honor, Service Above Self Award. I have had several opportunities to listen to this spectacular leader of our dynamic organization. The conversation and listenings I had were illuminating. His advocacy for change gives absolute joy and overwhelming confidence. With his unsurpassing strength, unending enthusiasm, and unwavering commitment, he has revolutionized the givings to the Rotary Foundation. His partner, Dr. Madhavi, is gynecologist and has served as district chairman of Innerville District 314 for 2017-18. The couple is blessed with 2 daughters, Dr. Nidhi and Dr. Shashmi, who are the pride of Pandya family. I would like to say a few lines because I thought our DRFC, Dr. Manmohan Singh, will do a few lines about our keynote speaker, Dr. Bharat Pandya. Zamir zinda rakh, Kabir zinda rakh, Sultan bhi ban jaye to dil mein fakir zinda rakh. इंसानियत सिखाती जो मन में वो पीर जिंदा रख, हौसले के तरकश में कोशिश का तीर जिंदा रख. Presenting to you amidst your loud applause and terrific celebrations, the incredible leader par excellence, past Rotary International Director, Dr. Bharat Pandya, Vice Chairman, Trustees of the Rotary Foundation, for casting seeds of lasting and sustainable change and inspire us on the Rotary Foundation, touching lives, transforming communities. I promise 30 minutes of absolute engagement that will swipe you off the feet and carry you under his wings with grit and determination. Welcome, Dr. Bharat Pandya. We welcome past Rotary International President Rajendra Saboo, who has joined this meeting.
Thank you, Rita ji, for that very, very kind and very, very generous introduction. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And thank you, past Governor Manmohan, for those kind words that you spoke about me. President of Chandigarh Midtown, Dr. Kalra, District Governor VP Kalta, past Rotary International President, and I can say the Doyen of Rotary in India, respected Raja Saboo, DRFC Manmohan,
ठीक है.
Rotary family of Chandigarh Midtown. What a great pleasure and honor it is to me. And at the outset, let me apologize for being a couple of minutes late. I was just finishing a surgery which took a little longer than what I thought it would take. But what a great pleasure and honor it is to be, for me, to be here. And I think one of the benefits, if we can call it, the benefits of this COVID is that it has given us this Zoom platform. That sitting here in Mumbai, I'm able to share some thoughts with you on a subject, I think, which is very dear, as past Governor Manmohan said. Chandigarh Midtown is one of the front runners as far as the Rotary Foundation is concerned in District 3080. So I know that this subject is very dear to the heart of President Kalra and all members of Rotary Club of Chandigarh Midtown. Charles Dickens, the famous author, has written an iconic book, A Tale of Two Cities. It begins with these lines. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was a spring of hope. It was a winter of despair. Best, worst, light, darkness, hope, despair. Contrasting words. But if we were to describe the journey of our world or the journey of Rotary in this COVID pandemic, these are the best lines that capture the journey. Because Rotary was doing so well, our world was doing so well. Excellent meetings, excellent fellowship in Rotary, fantastic service projects, and then COVID struck. And it changed everything that we do. It brought the world to its knees. And it changed the way Rotary worked, Rotary functioned, the way we held our meetings, the way we held our fellowship, and even the way we did our service programs. But one thing did not change, and that is the commitment of Rotarians to the Rotary Foundation. Let me explain. You know, I am a member of the Board of Trustees, as Rita ji has just explained to you. 15 people from across the world form the Board of Trustees of the Rotary Foundation. And every year, the Board of Trustees set themselves and set the Rotarians of the world a goal for collection in that year for the Rotary Foundation. In 2019-2020, President Kalra, that goal was $370 million. In 2020-21, the trustees set a goal of $410 million. And everybody was amazed. It's impossible, they said. You know, 2021 was a special year because the year started in the pandemic, the Rotary year. In July, August, we had maximum pandemic. Year ended in the pandemic. And except for 1 or 2 months, January, February, March, there was no normalcy. The whole year was in the pandemic. And everybody thought that instead of $370 million, the goal will be $350 million because of the pandemic. So this is madness, $410 million. But let me tell you that against that goal of $410 million, Rotarians like all of you opened out their hearts, and actual contribution in 2021 was $440.3 million. And that is why I say that one thing that did not change and one thing that never changes is the commitment of Rotarians to the Rotary Foundation. If Rotarians are the heart and soul of Rotary, because without Rotarians there is no Rotary, then I can say that Rotary Foundation, our Rotary Foundation, is the very backbone of Rotary. Because much of the good work that we do, the impactful work that we do, the global grants, the Peace Scholars Program, all this is possible because of and through the Rotary Foundation. Individually, you and I have neither the ability nor the capability to change the world or to do really something significant to make our world a better place. But working through the Rotary Foundation, we can definitely together create that impact. Our work for the foundation starts from our own doorstep in our own community and extends to different parts of the world. You know, in the olden days, it used to be said that sun never sets on the British Empire. British साम्राज्य पे कभी सूर्यास्त नहीं होता. Rotary has no empire. The foundation has no empire. But today, we can proudly say that sun never sets on the work of Rotary. Rotary के कार्य पे कभी सूर्यास्त नहीं होता है, because every day, every hour, every minute, every second, through the Rotary Foundation and because of the Rotary Foundation, some Rotarian in some part of the world is doing that work of the Rotary Foundation, doing good in the world, service above self, friends. You know, one of the best opportunities, what is our ultimate goal in Rotary? Peace, goodwill, and world understanding. That is the ultimate goal of Rotary, friends. And one of the best ways and best opportunities for us to work for peace is through the programs of the Rotary Foundation. Peace is not just an absence of war. I think all of us realize and all of us know that peace is also a quality of life. I have always believed that for peace to be achieved, 3 B's are necessary. 3 B's: bed, bread, and basic education. Bed, bread, and basic education. When people don't have these 3, don't have these basic necessities, there is a natural tendency to grab and fight and take what is they don't have. Then therefore conflict and terrorism and war and all the ill consequences of these conflicts, terrorism and war, they become inevitable. And if you look closely, the Rotary Foundation is working to achieve just that peace by providing all the basic necessities to peoples of the world who do not have these. Water and food to the thirsty and hungry. Medicines and healthcare to the sick and those who do not have access to healthcare. Education to the illiterate, shelter to the homeless. Truly, through the work of the Rotary Foundation, we are truly touching lives and transforming communities. And you know, one of the programs of Rotary to promote peace is the Peace Scholars Program. There are 2 types of Peace Scholars, short-term and long-term. We will not go into details. Long-term Peace Scholars is a 2 years master's course in peace and conflict resolutions, 5 universities in the world. But I am happy to share with you that the trustees have got a generous donation and we are setting up a 6th peace center in the MENA region. MENA is MENA, Middle East, North Africa region. It is probably going to be coming up in a couple of months' time in Istanbul. And that is possible because the Walter Foundation of USA has given Rotary Foundation $15.3 million to set up that peace center. Think about this, friends. Walter Foundation is a very big foundation in the United States. Not as big as Rockefeller Foundation, but it's quite a big foundation in the United States. If Walter Foundation wanted to set up a peace center, it could have done it on its own. But no, Walter Foundation is not setting up that peace center. Instead, it is giving the money to the Rotary Foundation to set up that peace center. There cannot be a better stamp of approval to the work of the Rotary Foundation than one foundation giving money to Rotary Foundation to do the work which is necessary to be done. And I think that is something I want all of you who are present here, Governor Kalta, DRFC Manmohan. I think this is what we must convey to the Rotarians, that this is the trust that the Rotary Foundation enjoys from NGOs, other foundations and governments of the world. One of the greatest programs and one of the latest programs of the Rotary Foundation is what is known as the Programs of Scale. Programs of Scale is a one-time, every year, one-time grant of $2 million for a very large program which impacts a large area of a country or a state. The first Program of Scale award was done in 2020. That was given to the country Zambia in Africa for a malaria-free Zambia. Can you imagine making a whole country free of malaria? What a great impact it can have. $2 million was given by the Rotary Foundation, $2 million was given by the Gates Foundation, and $2 million was given by World Vision. So the $2 million of foundation is converted into $6 million. Of course, the local Zambia government is pitching in and helping. The health workers in there, Rotary clubs in Zambia are also helping. And let me just share with you. Just last month, I was at the October Trustees meeting. And in the preliminary 15 months results which have come in. And bear in mind that malaria is still a big cause for mortality. Malaria is still a big cause for mortality, means death in African countries. But in the 15 months time since this grant has been given, mortality, deaths from malaria in Zambia have come down by 40%. Can you imagine what a great impact and what a great service that we are doing to these poor people there in the African region? I know Raja Saboo ji is present here and he is passionate about doing medical missions in Africa. And I think this program of scale is something that all of us can be proud of. And this is another information. Governor Kalta and DRFC Manmohan, I want you to share with the Rotarians of your district about the great work that our Rotary Foundation is doing. The second programs of scale is just been awarded in the month of June 2022. Saving lives of mother and children in Nigeria, covering 7 districts of Nigeria, almost 1/4 of the country, to decreasing maternal mortality, better access to pregnant women, to healthcare for pregnant women, decreasing infant mortality, reducing malnutrition, and providing other support to decrease the mortality and morbidity for mothers and children. Again, 2 million by Rotary Foundation. The German government is giving some money. Rotary clubs of Germany are giving some money. And I'm sure that it's just 4 months since this program is just started. I'm sure that this will be converted to 4 million or 6 million or whatever the money is. So truly, through the Rotary Foundation, we are doing impactful work. And I can share with you innumerable examples, whether that example is water and sanitation projects, wash projects, or building check dams in rural parts of my own district, setting up blood banks in Delhi, setting up blood banks in Bangalore, so many projects in your own district, 3080, setting up a full-fledged 5-story diabetes hospital in Rajkot. Dr. Kalra, 5-story hospital dedicated only for diabetes care in Rajkot. Of course, the land and building was built by the local Rotarians, but all the equipment and everything in the hospital is through the Rotary Foundation. So truly, if you look at it, truly, Rotary Foundation is touching lives and really transforming our communities. And Ukraine. Take the example of Ukraine. The war in Ukraine started in the month of January or February 2022. In the March, the trustees took a decision that we have to do something for this. So they set up a disaster response grant specifically for Ukraine. And they made an appeal to the Rotarians of the world. And in 4 months' time, March, April, May, and June, $15 million were donated by Rotarians for disaster response grants in Ukraine. And I'm happy to share with you, just last week I have got the report from the Rotary Foundation staff that all this money has been already disbursed and programs have been carried out and are being carried out. 440 grants have already been given, total worth $15 million in 29 countries, supplying ambulances, supplying medical equipment, helping in the relief camps. So Rotary is not just sitting down and doing nothing when disaster strikes, when war strikes. Rotary is responding as fast as any other NGO. And remember, rescue is not Rotary's job, but relief and rehabilitation is Rotary's job. And this Ukraine has shown that this relief and rehabilitation, Rotary and Rotarians are doing in the best possible manner. And why I am sharing this information with you? Because I think there is a misconception that when we talk about the Rotary Foundation, it's only about asking Rotarians to give money. It's important for us to know the work of the Rotary Foundation. It is important for us to share with all our Rotarians the great work that we are doing because and through our Rotary Foundation. whether it is peace, whether it is programs of scale, whether it is Ukraine, and of course, polio. I think truly we are this close to eradicating polio. But remember, you must all have heard in the newspaper of one American young man in New York being stricken with polio. And that person had never stepped out of his own county. So, we always used to say that the polio virus is just one plane ride away. It has been proven that that virus to that gentleman had come from the Pakistan strain. If that virus can travel to America from Pakistan, it can definitely travel from Pakistan to India, friends. Remember, polio is our sacred promise to the children of the world that we will give them a polio-free world. And the news is good. Let me share the good news with you. That there are, as far as the P1 virus is concerned, there are 11 genetic clusters. And I don't want to go into all those details. But today, the maximum cases of 20 are in Pakistan. That is restricted to only one district, the KPK region of Pakistan. And in that 20, only one genetic cluster is now remaining. Out of 11, 10 have been eliminated and only one genetic cluster is remaining. And Afghanistan, the news is even better. That after the Taliban government has come in power, 80% of the country, they are allowing house-to-house vaccination. So really, we are really this close to eradicating polio. And I am sure that with all your support, with all our efforts, 2023, we will have the last cases of polio probably. And then I think once polio is done, each one of us can lift our head with pride and say that, yes, I also played my part. Helen Keller was blind. She was once asked, Miss Keller, is there anything worse than being blind? She said, having sight, but no vision. Friends, it is the Rotary Foundation that gives that forward-looking vision to Rotary. That vision of a better world, of better communities, of a world of peace, goodwill, and understanding for our generation and for future generations, friends. But of course, the Rotary Foundation, to run all the programs, all the activities, all the projects, depends only from volunteer contributions of the Rotarians. You heard in my introduction, Rita ji say that in 2006-07, when I was governor, District 3140 contributed over $2 million to the Rotary Foundation. And for the first time, an Indian district became #1 in foundation contributions in the entire Rotary world. The important thing was not Governor Kalta that Bharat Pandya was the governor. The important thing also was not that just 3140. Of course, it was a matter of pride to me that my district was able to do it. But the very important thing was that we were able to show to the world that Indian Rotarians are also able to give. They just don't keep on asking from people, but we are also generous and we are capable of giving and becoming #1 in the world. To change the mindset of the Rotarians of the world. And that was what was important. So why do we give to the Rotary Foundation? We give to the Rotary Foundation because of the track record of the Rotary Foundation. Excellent work, outstanding projects and activities, complete financial discipline, financial prudence, and financial transparency. Discipline in the finances that we are doing. We spend the money of Rotarians, so we do it prudently, not unwisely. And of course, complete transparency as far as the Rotary Foundation is concerned. We give to the Rotary Foundation because the work of the Rotary Foundation is done by Rotarians like all of us. We don't hire people to do the work. It is Rotarians who do the work. Many of the Rotarians are technical experts in writing grants, in executing grants. We give to the Rotary Foundation because of two important concepts. One is foundation believes in concept of sustainability. You must all have heard that old saying, give a person fish and you feed that person for one day. Teach the person to fish and you feed that person for a lifetime. Rotary Foundation believes in giving the fish, but it also believes in teaching a person to fish so that that person can stand on their own feet and become self-sufficient. And we give to the Rotary Foundation because a very important concept. And again, I want you, Governor DRFC, that if you feel that this is important, you can share it with the Rotarians. The principle of effective giving. The principle of effective giving. You know, when we give to the Rotary Foundation, because the system of the Rotary Foundation is such, 92% of the money that we give to the Rotary Foundation is used only for the purpose for which we are giving, for the program for which we are giving, for the project that which we are giving. The administrative of the Rotary Foundation is just 7.5. I am taking 8% upper limit. That is one of the lowest administrative expenses in the entire world. Even the Indian government allows 20%. Any charitable organization can use 20%, up to 20% of its collection for administrative expenses. I just mentioned about my district becoming number 1 in 2006-07. And it was past president of one of our Rotary clubs, Harshad Mehta, who in 2006-07 gave $1 million to the Rotary Foundation. The first Indian to give an outright contribution of $1 million in that year. And of course, Rajaji will remember that it was at the Chandigarh Rotary Institute in 2006 that we honored Harshad Bhai, and he handed over the check there. And in my district conference, in our district conference, we honored Harshad Bhai and Naina Bhai. And they said that our philosophy is simple. We believe that the wealth which is there with us is not our wealth. It is just passing through our hands. And if it passes through our hands, through the Rotary Foundation, we know that the money will be used efficiently for the purpose for which we are giving, transparently and effectively. And that is why we give the Rotary Foundation. Over the last 15-16 years, Harshad Bhai has given more than $5 million to the Rotary Foundation, friends. The principle of effective giving. Gates, when he gave the first $100 million to polio, Gates was so happy that he came in 2009 and gave another $255 million for polio eradication. And I was there at the International Assembly when he made this announcement. And he said that the Gates Foundation has a policy. They identify an area in which they want to work. And then they look at organization which is head and shoulders in that area. That means which is doing the best work in that area. So they said they wanted to work with children. For children, they wanted to work with polio. And when it came to polio, there was no doubt in the mind of Gates Foundation that the only organization to work with was the Rotary Foundation. In the last 15 years, Bill Gates, through the Gates Foundation, has given more than $1.2 billion to polio. And all the money is given only to the Rotary Foundation. There is no money given to the United States government, not to WHO, not to UNICEF. The money comes to the Rotary Foundation, and then the Rotary Foundation gives those grants to WHO and UNICEF. If that is the faith and trust that the Gates Foundation has in the Rotary Foundation. And I think we need to take these points and convey to the Rotarians of the world. And I want you, my friends, those who are present here today, that when you go back, when you are out there interacting with the Rotarians, please convey these points, friends. That is the trust that the Rotary Foundation enjoys, friends. But as I said, of course, Rotary Foundation depends on only on the voluntary contribution of Rotarians. And therefore, it is my appeal to each one of you. 3 funds of the Rotary Foundation: the annual fund, polio fund, and the endowment fund. When we support the annual fund today, it allows us to do global grants tomorrow. Polio is, of course, our sacred promise to the children of the world that we will give them a polio-free world. An endowment fund. Endowment fund is a permanent fund which ensures the future of the Rotary Foundation. And the trustees have again set a goal of collecting $2.025 billion by 2025 in actual contribution and commitment, 50-50. $1.6 billion have already been collected as of 30th of June 2022. That means we are on target. 80% of target is met. And I'm sure that with the generous contribution of Rotarians like all of you present here today, we will be able to meet that target of $2.025 billion by 2025. And then just pause for a second and imagine that when we have $2.025 billion, 1 billion in actual contribution and 1 billion in commitment. It will, at a very conservative estimate, every year generate around $40 million in spendable earnings. And then we will be able to do not just one program of scale, but we probably will be able to do 10 or 12 or 15 programs of scale. And then think about the great impact that Rotary Foundation will continue to have, better impact that Rotary Foundation will have on the communities of the world. And therefore, my appeal to you is that look into your hearts and contribute to all three funds: annual fund, polio fund, and endowment fund. People say that I contributed last year, I am already a Paul Harris Fellow, I am already a major donor. Why do I need to contribute again? That is like saying that I ate my dinner yesterday night, why do I need to eat again? I paid my taxes last year, why do I need to pay my taxes again? My friends, let me tell you that Rotary Foundation is like a small sapling. For that sapling to keep growing into a beautiful tree, magnificent tree, it requires constant nourishment, constant watering, constant fertilizer, and constant looking after friends. One friend I met, Kalra ji, told me that Rotary Foundation is collecting $400 million, $440 million. So what difference it makes whether I contribute my $100 or don't contribute to that $100? It makes no difference. What is $100 as compared to $440 million? So I asked that friend a question. Please tell me, what is the weight of a snowflake? What is the weight of a snowflake? Not even in nanograms. Forget milligrams and micrograms. The weight of a snowflake is not even in nanograms. But when millions of snowflakes fall on the ground, that ground is converted into a beautiful ski resort. So my friends, each contribution, however small or however big, is extremely important to sustain and make our Rotary Foundation move forward. So let me end by sharing this small story with you about this old man who was planting trees. When a youngster happened to be passing by and looked at the old man and said, "Old man, this tree that you are planting is going to bear fruits only after 30 years. Do you think you are going to live long enough to enjoy the fruits of this tree that you are planting?" The old man did not reply, continued to work, and when he had planted that sapling, he looked up and said, "Son, I know I am not going to live long enough to enjoy the fruits of this tree that I am planting today. But in my whole life, I have enjoyed the fruits of trees that were planted by my father, my grandfather, and their forefathers. I am planting this tree not for myself, but for my children and their children and their grandchildren. This is my investment for the future." My friends, when we support the Rotary Foundation, it is actually our investment for the future of our children, and their grandchildren. And therefore, I make this earnest appeal to each and every one of you that please invest in the Rotary Foundation this year and every year. You know, Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "To know that even one life has breathed this year because you have lived, that is the true meaning of success." Each one of you, my friends, has that power of one. That is the power of one. One Rotarian, one club, one district, multiplied many times over. Each one of you present here today has that power of one within you. Use that power of one wisely. Use that power of one to invest in our Rotary Foundation. As you imagine what Rotary can be, should be, and will be in your club and in your district 3080, I urge each and every one of you to continue your investment in the Rotary Foundation this year and every year. Enjoy Rotary, enjoy yourself. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you, PRID Bharat Pandya sir. It was an eye-opener for all of us. An amazing presentation. We are so happy to hear you today, sir. Thank you so much from the core of our hearts. I would request our District Governor, VP Kalta sir, to come for the closing remarks, please. Thank you. Thank you, President. Club President Dr. Sanjay Kalra, Trustee Dr. Secretary Manmohan, not because that project is very close to my heart, but because you have done a tremendous job there. I would like to congratulate President Kalra and all members of the club for that project. I had been twice there in your presence, and once I spent my own and saw what to see what all is going there. Really, just very appreciated. Thank you. That's in the month of December itself. So, आपके जो प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं आप बहुत अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं स्टाफ काम जो है हमारे डॉक्टर बुरा लगा देते हैं तो हमारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट के अंदर जो मेरे ख्याल से आपकी मैगजीन जो है हमारे जो PML है उसको टक्कर देती है मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा वेरी ब्यूटीफुल this is all I have to say. I have to just thank you because you have, thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you, District Governor VP Kalta sir, and we are again honored for your presence here at a short notice. Thank you so much again. I would request Past President Amarjit to give the vote of thanks. Keynote speaker of the evening, Vice Chairman Trustees TRF, Past Rotary International Director Dr. Bharat Pandya, District Governor Kalta, President Sanjay, Secretary Manmohan, RFP Chair Chandigarh Midtown, Ritu, RFP Chair Doon E-Club, Past President Sushant, DRFC, the past District Governor Manmohan Singh is also present online, and member of RFP team, fellow Rotarians, good evening.
PRID Senior Secondary School, NFL Township, Panipat is ready for next edition of Fit India program.
What a talk. There can't be a better expression about the Rotary Foundation. Touching lives and transforming communities. Thank you, Bharatji, for enlightening us about the subject, which is very good. I would like to thank my Rotary Leadership Academy batchmates, for inspiring us. Whenever he comes, he inspires us. I would also like to thank Manmohanji, a friend, philosopher, and guide, for his word of wisdom. I will fail in my duty if I forget to thank Rtn Sushant, Vice President Sushant, and RFP team members who came all the way from Dehradun. Thank you so much. On behalf of Rotary Club Chandigarh Midtown, I once again express my gratitude to all those present, online and offline. जाते जाते मैं दो लाइनें मेरी आदत है आपसे शेयर करूंगा। हकीकत में वही धन्यवाद के हकदार हैं। हकीकत में वही धन्यवाद के हकदार हैं जो बिना स्वार्थ मदद को हमेशा तैयार हैं। थैंक यू। Thank you, Pastor Samuel. I would like to please give a small token of appreciation to Bharat Pandya. This will be couriered to him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kalra ji. Thank you very much. Governor, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Request, sir, I will request PL Ramsasaya, sir, our Vishnu Pitame, to present a small gift to our Rotary.